wonderful people, great Biafrans, wherever you are on the face of this very planet Earth. We welcome you to another exciting edition of a very special broadcast of Radio Biafra from the Holy Land of Israel. Going out to the entirety of humanity, I welcome you on behalf of the entire family of IPOB. I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to some of you. My name is Nnamdi Kanu. I am the leader of the Indigenous People of Biafra. And we are here this evening to preach this very glorious gospel. And we must do so because Chukwokika Biama determined that we should do it. As I'm welcoming you, please, I would like to encourage you to welcome those around you, your friends, your families, your neighbors. However you can reach them, endeavor to do so because we are coming to you live and direct. Because this gospel must be preached. The truth must be spoken. And the zoo must fall because it is built on lies, deception, and falsehood. We must do all we can. We must do all we can to ensure that Biafra is restored, and that is why we are here this evening. We are live on radio, biafra.co. We are live also on IPOB.org. We are live on Facebook on Radio Biafra page. To find out how these Fulani liars, I'm not saying all Fulanis are liars, but there is a significant and a very deadly number of them who are devoted to deceiving all of you. And we shall expose them together tonight. We are going to find out how these liars, these cheats and deceivers, how come they are running the zoo called Nigeria. My only disappointment is that the Yoruba-dominated media will never do a very simple investigative journalism to find out the truth. Instead, they allow their irrational hatred for Biafra. I don't know why Yorubas hate Biafra. I don't know why. Somebody will tell me someday. They hate Biafra with a passion. Yorubas hate IPOB. And with the exception of Fayoshe, Paya de Banjo, and my very good friend, Fani Kayode, a significant number of them, those who doesn't wish to see the light, they also hate me. And all this hatred has clouded their sense of judgment. Now, if those that control the media, if those that control the media in the zoo will not investigate and report the truth, tonight all of us are going to be investigators. Nabalia, go and get your pen and your papers, because it is how we are going to uncover the truth. That is the easiest way to equip yourself against the junk news syndrome in Nigeria and beyond. Nobody can ever cover the truth, no matter how hard you try. Because in the zoo called Nigeria, if you had other people without Biafrans, perhaps you might get away with it. Because we hunt for the truth. Because we believe in Eziokwu. Without truth, you cannot live. The ancients made that very clear. In the olden days, when you lie, you die. Because as an Nzeozo, and in many other places across the ethnicities of Biafra land, for you to be a titled man, you must not tell lies. During your initiation, they bring out your tongue and they make 7 incisions with the blade. 7 incisions. That any day you lie, you will die. That was where the phrase Eziokwu came from. Because if you speak the truth, you will live. If you lie, you will die. I wish those days were with us now. Because we have so many liars and deceivers. At IPOB, we are very unique. We dismantle lies piece by piece. The same way I will unravel the zoo piece by piece tonight. I will disintegrate the zoo with the truth only. Nothing more, nothing less. They cover the truth. We uncover it. I told you last Saturday that the handlers of the imposter Jubril will be afraid to unleash him on the gathering of world leaders in Paris because they know that Jubril is a fraud. They cannot take him to Paris, I told you that. Now, if people in Nigeria are prepared to reason like human beings and not like animals, that's why I call them a zoo, because they cannot reason. Now ask yourself, why will they announce that Buhari, so to speak, is traveling to Paris for this very summit or for this very gathering of world leaders on this commemoration of Armistice Day? That is what it is. Armistice Day. Sometimes they say, am I speaking too fast? They say I speak too fast. Our mothers in the villages. Because sometimes some of these, our distractors, they mess you around with convoluted grammar in the hope of conveying to you and appealing to your rather very unsophisticated instinct that whoever speaks very beautiful grammar is intelligent. That is rubbish. There are palm wine tappers in the village that makes more sense than your average PhD holder in Nigeria. I can tell you that. And some of you know that is the truth as well. I told you they can never take Jubril to Paris because he's a fake, he's a fraud. He's from Sudan. World leaders were waiting. Did I also not tell you that he might not return on Tuesday? Did he return on Tuesday? The answer is no, he did not come back on Tuesday. These are liars and deceivers. That is how you know. Even when we were very small and very little children, you all know this. If you tell your younger brother or any of your younger siblings to lie, your sister or your brother, you've done something wrong. Maybe your mom said you shouldn't go out or you shouldn't go to the pot of soup and help yourself. And you ignore your mother's instructions and you go and do it. Or you go out. Or you climb the mango tree, or you climb the guava tree, or you do something you're not supposed to do. Or you go out to play with your friends. When you come back, you tell your little sister or your brother, make sure you don't tell mom when mom gets home. And as soon as mom walks through the door, your sibling will say to mom, I'm not going to tell you anything. I don't know if you remember. I'm not going to tell you anything. Brother, okay, I shouldn't tell you anything. But your mother didn't ask your little one any question. It is called guilty conscience. Whenever somebody is hiding something from you, they are lying. Not only are they lying, they are covering up something they don't want you to see or to hear about. That was how Nixon was removed. That was why Clinton was not impeached. Nixon gave an order for the Watergate building to be bogged during Democratic Party convention. They asked him about it and he denied. The reason why President Nixon was impeached was because he tried to cover up the truth, not because of the actual crime itself. When Clinton was in trouble with Monica Lewinsky, he came clean and said, I did something with the cigarette. They said, okay, you've told us the truth. Had Clinton tried to cover that up, he too would have been impeached from office. Now ask yourself, why would Femi Adesina lie that this man, this Jubril, claiming to be Buhari, is traveling to Paris when that did not happen? Admittedly, he was in Paris, yes, because I know where he went to the evening before. Our men were there. He was at the Museum d'Orsay, where they were having a Picasso exhibition. They won't tell you that, but we know. But he did not attend the actual summit itself. Do you know why he did not attend? Because all the heads of states and all the security agencies in the world, they know he is not Buhari. That is why he did not go. I want every newspaper in Nigeria, I want everybody that gets up every day to attack me for speaking the truth. Go and ask them, why did Jubril or Buhari, whoever you call him, why did he not attend the actual ceremony? We are going to come to the fake pictures later, one after the other. We are tearing them apart this very evening because they are liars. I don't know why Femi Adesina will present himself to be used in such manner. When I told you that day he would not return on Tuesday, some of you thought I was joking. When Tuesday came, he was nowhere to be found. I remember a very hardcore Biafran who rightly observed that, and I quote, because I don't claim what doesn't belong to me. He said, had the zoo not been designed for everlasting hopelessness, on Tuesday morning, that Buhari or Jubril should have returned. On that very morning, over 170 million Nigerians should have staged a very powerful protest demanding to know where he was. Everybody went home. Trump was in the White House. Every head of state had gone. Where was Jubril? I also told you last week that they would go to amend his ear. Didn't I tell you that? Did I not tell you that last week? That he won't come back on Tuesday, I told you. Oh man, not on Tuesday, he cannot come back. He can't come back on Tuesday. They went to adjust his ear. And on Wednesday, Abba Kyari joined him. He is the main culprit. He is the capone, the big guy that gets everything done. Some say it is a rumor. Some are going about, oh, it is a rumor, it's not true, you know, it's mischief making. But I know it is not, and we are here to prove it. It is the raw truth. Raw, revealing, and very painful truth. Anybody telling you otherwise is deceiving you. I have given you one simple assignment for your brain, not a research you have to do. Why should they lie? That their own Buhari, they call Jubril Buhari, that's why sometimes I say Buhari. They claimed that Buhari was attending this very peace summit, but he did not. And that is the truth. Some of you should begin now to ask yourselves, why is it that he did not go? Therein lies the answer. Why was this Jubril? Why were they avoiding allowing this impostor and the fraud to meet Trump, to meet Putin, to meet Angela Merkel? Did some of you not see George Weah meeting all these people with the Moroccan king? Everybody that was there came out, not just in photographs, but in videos as well. And I tell you what they are doing. Now that the video of the event is out, what they have done is to commission what I call the high-end digital video editors that work for Hollywood studios to somehow insert Jubril's motion picture in it. They are going to insert Jubril's motion picture in the videos, and they know I will call for video tonight. So tomorrow or next, Femi Adesina will release a video. Oh, they're asking for video. Can't you see it? But we know if you watch a movie like Avatar, you will understand there is nothing they cannot do. Truth is in real time. Most of us watched Al Jazeera, watched CNN, watched every major news network in the world. There was no Jubril Buhari in Paris. Ask yourself this question. What were they hiding? Why would they lie to Nigerians about this very event when they know within themselves that Jubril wasn't going or would not dare attend? Because Trump would have called him, you lifeless thing, who brought you here? That's why they didn't go. Anybody telling you that this is not the truth is deceiving you. I know that politicians in the zoo both PDP and APC, that is something you need to understand. All of them, they're in this together. All of them. Go and get your PVC and vote. They are all the same criminals, the same gang of thieves in the Yoshika. All of them. I'm not exempting anyone. They're all thieves. Do you know what they're thinking? So if they find out now, even Nnamdi Kanu tells them that this is Jubril, and they catch us in this is the proper treasonable felony. In these high crimes and misdemeanors. If they catch us in this, do you know that all this going to CBN to take as much money as possible will stop? They all gang up together. Igbo, Yoruba, Efiki, Bibio, everybody, Kanuri, Hausa, Fulani, to say they are the elite. These illiterates call themselves the elite. Elite in a country where there is no running water, you say you are an elite. You claim you are an intelligentsia in a country where there is no light in the 21st century. You claim you are an elite in a place without any proper functioning education system, unless you go private. And I ask them, what is the essence and meaning of your elitism? It has no meaning. You are as daft as a baboon in Jerusalem Zoo. Useless to the core. You are nothing. Absolutely nothing. These are empty barrels that make the most noise. Do you want to see my degrees, my certificate? But I'm asking you, are you not using a generator in your home? What makes you a civilized person if you cannot avail yourself of the prevailing technology of the time to improve your lives? Something Romans did 3,000 years ago. People in the 21st century, with all their certifications, cannot be able to replicate. Romans did not go to a university. Some of them were just mere soldiers. They were able to build canals, water systems, irrigation systems. They did all of this. They built roads. If you go to England, you will hear, anywhere you hear about a Roman road, straight, built in the ancient times. Or should I say in antiquity? You have people today in Abuja and in Lagos sitting down in Channels television studios, one of the worst TV stations in the whole world, talking nonsense. We elite, we intellectuals, they are all in this nonsense together. Their job is to make your lives a misery. This is something that you Nigerians must know. They don't want Jubril to be exposed, because if you expose Jubril, their business, which is electioneering, coming up next year, will deny some of them access to the treasury, access to oil and gas money. That's why they're looking for, nothing more, nothing less. So why won't they cover it up? They don't care about the truth. They are not interested in the truth. All they want is to be in office, to keep on looting, and all of you to keep suffering. I call them illiterate kleptomaniacs. They are thieves. They are nothing. When somebody comes, oh, I'm a politician. Do you know who I am? I'm from. Tell the idiot he's a fool. He is nothing. He's just a thief. A very fortunate rogue. Onyoshikobo. All of them. Bar none. They litter the corridors of power in Abuja. And they think that Nigeria is Allah's gift to the Fulani nomads that settled in Nigeria and acquired immeasurable political power through the instrumentality of British colonialism. Britain put them in power. Why? Because before, all they do is to drink the blood of cattle. Milk. And milk. Britain introduced them to the very finer things of life. They don't know how to produce them. They just consume. Britain said, we are pleased with Fulani people. Let us give all the power to them so they can lord it over the others. In the US in those days during slavery, they are the equivalent of house niggers. You know those that say because they are close to the master in the house, and the rest of them will be in the sugarcane plantation or in the cotton fields picking cotton or cutting down sugarcane. Those that are in the house serving the master will feel that somehow they've arrived. They're the real deal. I want some of you to go and watch a movie called Django Unchained. I think it's Unchained, or is it Unleashed? It's Unchained. Is it Unchained? Django Unchained. Go and watch it and you will weep for the mentality of a black person. Some of you watch movies, you don't do anything with it. I watch movies to learn. That was how I knew that Shawshank Redemption, one of the finest movies of all time, will teach you a lot about hope and perseverance. In fact, I recommend that everybody in IPOB should watch it. Shawshank Redemption. Tim Robbins and Morgan Freeman. Watch it. And then find time. This is compulsory to watch Django Unchained. After watching it, if you see a stupid black man on the road, you will kill him. I'm telling you the truth. That movie taught me a lot. That is what the Fulanis are counting on. That is what, or of course it is, because it's still very current and present. That is what the British have been counting on for years, to run everybody down. The lies and the deceit of the Fulani cabal. Tonight we unravel it, one after the other. One after the other. They're in Abuja, stealing and looting. They don't want you to find out that Jubril is from Sudan and that he's fake, that Buhari is dead. While some of us were busy lamenting about the cross-Atlantic slave trade, how many people from the north we are taking in slave ships to America? Let me ask you. Does any of you here know? Anybody from the north? How many Fulanis we are slaves in America? How many? Britain wasn't satisfied with emptying our towns and our villages. When they were done, their hatred for us was so immense that they handed us over to the Fulani people to continue to the subjugation for eternity. They will prefer them to keep lording it over us, to keep running us down. If you're not happy as a graduate, find your way through the Mediterranean to Italy. Go and seek asylum somewhere. But if unfortunately you die of dehydration in the desert, or if perchance you drown in the Mediterranean, that is your fate. That is your luck. And that is your life. Don't we feel ashamed that people are dying on the way to Europe because of the misrule and mismanagement of the Fulani ruling elite? Are some of you not ashamed of yourselves? So you don't hear about people drowning in the Mediterranean. Of course! They are not your relatives. So it doesn't matter because you have no conscience. I say this all the time. People think it is very controversial. You must bear with me because we are going to reveal these people this evening and unmask them one after the other. Do you know the reason why Africa is poor? Africa is poor because black people by nature are very wicked. I'm telling you the truth. Because Chukwokika Biama looks into the hearts of men to see if there are some amongst them that because or for their sake he will spare or have mercy upon the larger population. In Africa, the answer is zero. Why do you think we are so wicked? Why do you think somebody will be earning 5 million naira every day, or should I say every hour for some of them, and somebody is asking you for 30,000 naira in a month and you say no? You must be a very heartless, cruel, and evil person. Today, they are busy covering up the truth. And the truth is that Jubril is a Sudanese. Fulanis are in power. They can do whatever they like. Nobody can question them. There was one idiot, he says his name is Malam Daura. I'll get to him later, who gave an interview to some newspaper and said that people should do away with the Constitution. Some of you may have read the piece. but you don't know the implications. I said this to them before, and at the risk of sounding controversial, the Hausa Fulani people, they're like the countries you have in the Middle East. They don't understand the meaning of democracy or secular governance. They don't understand it. Not now. They can never be Democrats. Never, ever, ever. Not now, not tomorrow, not ever. Against this very background, we present to you this very evening a program of truth and liberation. My only regret is that a majority of my Yoruba brothers don't want to be free. They prefer to remain under Fulani bondage as long as they have access to proceeds of crude oil and monthly allocation from Abuja. As long as Lagos remains the only viable seaport, as long as Igbo businesses in Lagos, as long as Biafran workers all over the place continue to pay their taxes and develop Yoruba land while Biafra land remains a wasteland. Anytime they see any IPOB family member, because tonight we are the people serving them from their own ignorance. I am going to encapsulate in a very few sentences what transpired between Jubril Buhari, Femi Adesina, Nigerians, Biafrans, and very keen observers of the dark arts of politics in Africa. I am going to be very concise and methodical in my approach to enable those who may have a bit of comprehension issues to appreciate where we are going and how we are going to get there. In a very short and simple sentence, Jubril is from Sudan, the imposter answering to Buhari. He did not attend the from West Africa. He's not Fulani, Hausa or Yoruba Muslim. He is an outsider. He is not even registered to vote. But some of you are planning to go and vote for him next year. His name is not on INEC register. But you want to go and vote for him next year. That shows how stupid some of you are. Unbelievably stupid. No wonder Black Africa is very poor and backwards. Jubril, I will call him, was nowhere to be found at the just concluded World War Commemoration Summit in Paris. It's called the Armistice Day. Armistice Day, not a peace conference. It was the commemoration of Armistice Day. They said Peace Forum. Now you understand. That was why Femi Adesina started releasing photoshopped pictures of Jubril when President Macron was outside still speaking at the base of the Arc de Triomphe, an outside open-air event. They were busy photoshopping pictures of Buhari's Commonwealth gathering in London in April, as reported by a Hausa website. Understand this very clearly. They used the same dress that Jubril wore in April to Commonwealth Summit in London. They used the pictures to start photoshopping themselves into a gathering they were not a part of. The main event was taking place outside. Do you see how Chukwuabiama was exposing them? So Femi Adesina thought we are all very stupid. We were watching CNN, watching Al Jazeera, watching everything live on the television. And we saw pictures flooding in, saying President Buhari addressing world leaders at the Peace Forum. There was no Jubril on the television. There was no Peace Forum going on inside. Then we knew, as usual, as I told you, that they are lying. And some of you bought it. Because anyway, the education system in the zoo is not working. It has collapsed. So when you're being lied to, there is no way you can know. Only when you come to Radio Biafra, the best university in the world, by none. And by the way, I gave a lecture at Tel Aviv University just a few days ago. And many more will come. Many more will come. There was no Jubril, or the alter ego of Buhari, that very unrepentant criminal. We must remember that this very Jubril had on Friday the 9th, followed the deadline very well, or so it is the deadline, on the 9th, Abali Togolu. 9th of November 2018, They said he was jetting out of the country. Femi Adesina announced it, that your president, Kendisu, is jetting out of the country to travel to Paris for a summit. Is that not what he said? I think that's what Adesina said. There's nothing wrong with that. Some of you will say, I said, okay, no problem. But I knew, and I told you last week, he will not attend because the world is waiting to expose him. And let me tell you why the world hasn't risen up.